Morning. Just gonna hang out a little bit and see if anybody wants some Wednesday word. Hope you're having a great Wednesday start to your day. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna take a look at 1 John chapter 4. Toward the end of the chapter, it's a shorter chapter, chapter that talks about God's love. 1 John chapter 4, starting verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is from God. Whoever loves has been born of God and knows God. Anyone who does not love does not know God, because God is love. In this, the love of God is made manifest, that God sent his only Son into the world that we might live through him. In this is love, not that we love God, but he loved us and sent his Son to be the propitiation for our sins. Beloved, if God so loved us, we should love one another. No one has ever seen God. If we love one another, God abides in us, and his love is perfected in us. By this we know we abide in him, and he in us. He has given us of his Spirit. We have seen and testify that the Father has sent his Son to be the Savior of the world. Whoever confesses that Jesus is the Son of God, God abides in him and he in God. For we have come to know and believe the love God has for us. God is love, and whoever abides in love abides in God, and God abides in him. By this is love perfected with us, that we may have confidence. There's no fear in love, but perfect love casts out fear, for fear has to do with punishment. Whoever fears has not been perfected in love. We love him because he first loved us. If anyone says, I love God, but hates his brother, he's a liar, for who does not love his brother cannot love God. This is the commandment we have from him. Whoever loves God must love his brother too. I'm going to put out a video here, probably the end of the week, to help with just general retention. If you're 50-something like me, you're trying to remember what you read. Sometimes you have to read it 3 or 4 times. It gets a little frustrating because you just cannot remember it. You're not retaining it. So I'm going to put out a leak video, LEEK. And it's going to help with people who are reading, studying, and just help with retaining what we're reading. Good morning, Carlos. How you doing? Got Rolling with Carlos in the house. If you want to check out a really good, interesting channel, please check out Rolling with Carlos. Good info on there. Good morning. Fortunately, Carlos, you and I are on the same time zone, so that helps. I'm in the Carolinas. I hope you're having beautiful weather there like we are. You scheduled a video? Cool. I will definitely watch it. Is it out now or is it scheduled to come out sometime later today? Oh, is it supposed to rain today? You've got Florida's had a lot of rain, if you don't mind me saying that. You guys have had a lot of rain this year. We got a ton of rain from Debbie a couple of weeks ago. To Dallas. I've been to Dallas. I visited Texas, but never lived there. I lived in Clearwater, Florida for 8 years. Went to school there and met my husband. Lived there for a while, and then work sent us north to the Carolinas. Are you a Gator? I know you like sports, so it's got to be hard to pick which team you like the best. You've got the Hurricanes, you got the Gators. Awesome. I can't do the. If I stand up, I get off my walker here, rolling walker. I do the mini Gator. I'm going to ask you a controversial question, Carlos. Do you find the tomahawk chop irritating? I don't mind when I'm watching a Florida State game. I don't mind, but then after they've done the tomahawk chop, through the entire game, after you get to about the third quarter, it's like, okay, seen it. Yeah, see, you're more patient than I am, but you can always turn the volume down, right? So, hey, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah. I watched your video on the Marlins. I'm sorry about your frustration with the Marlins. We had some of that frustration with we're a football family, and we've had frustration with the Carolina Panthers for the same reasons, just hiring, firing, restructuring. We've got another brand new coach this year. We'll see how it goes. I forgot to bring my coffee. Yeah, I hear you. I'm obviously getting to the age where I can think about, um, whether I'm going to collect early on Social Security. I'm a retired teacher. I taught middle school on and off for over a decade. I wasn't always on a rolling walker. I fell a couple of years ago, and I was in the middle of caregiving for my mother-in-law, and I didn't apply for disability in time. So according to the government, yeah, I was in Florida when I got my teaching degree, and applying for a permit, a teaching permit, you know better than you know. We used, we used to call Tallahassee Tallahassee because it was there were so many steps to getting your teaching permit, but I managed it. Don't ask me how. Every state's like that. The Carolinas are like that too. Getting a teaching permit is a huge process. It really is. It would be, you would think with a Department of Education, it would be a little more standardized, but unfortunately it isn't. What did you teach, Carlos? Seriously? That is awesome. I had my my degree, my bachelor's was history, and then I minored in education, and then I went to a Christian college. So I double minored. You had to double minor. You had to minor in Bible. Christian college, thou shalt minor in Bible. But I didn't mind because I already, had already was familiar with it. So, and yeah, history, secondary ed, and Bible. Got my bachelor's at a school that is, I went to Clearwater Christian, and it's not open anymore. They merged with Cedarville, which is in Ohio. COVID and in the economy has closed a lot of the smaller brick and mortar schools, unfortunately. Hang on, let me tell you. Social studies, love it, but can't find a permanent position. Oh my goodness. You are so right. It is who you know. It is who you know. Did you look, privately too, I subbed. I was a substitute teacher here in the Carolinas for 6 years, looking for a position the entire time, and never found a permanent position, because again, it's like you said, it's who you know. Unfortunately, not always what you know; it's who you know. Plus, life got crazy with caretaking and stuff, and I love my mother-in-law, but caretaking can become full-time. We know that. We've been caretakers and we've had people taking care of us, so it gets complicated. Subbing Kelly Services took over. Wow, that's interesting. I'm old enough to remember Kelly Services when they used to call the people who worked at Kelly Services Kelly girls. Sorry, no offense, but yeah, I'm old enough. I was a Kelly girl back in the day. They sent us out to different places. It's a good way to get in with the government. If your area has temporary services, that would be another video you would probably know a lot about, is vocational rehab. How to kind of get in with vocational rehab and get started with them, because I'm sure I know I've done it more than once. You've probably done it more than once too. Yeah, I'm that old. Yep. Yeah, I saw your first video on getting help with that. You've made a pretty good way for yourself. That's awesome. It's always It's like life. I mean, I don't want to wax too philosophical here, but it's sometimes it's like you're on a huge boat and you're just trying to navigate and keep it off the rocks. I know that's been the case. My case, I've always been really fortunate to stay mobile, but I haven't done the video yet because I'm just not ready to go there. I was kind of like Forrest Gump as a kid. I wore braces. I had the whole. I wasn't always on a walker, but I've always had uh, congenital or issues with my legs and my spine, and so I had the Forrest. I was like Forrest Gump. I had the braces with the cords coming up, and I had the thing that went around the waist, and you know, you know, you know the drill. You're trying to navigate through school, the school hallway like that. Fun, lots of fun. How did I find your channel? Through Arlen. Uh, the lady that makes the video, she makes how to start a channel. I think it's Aaron or Aaron Lodge, and she sent me a message, like a message, and said you need to check out this channel. Aaron, is it Aaron? Yes, Aren. Yes. Let me see if I can find her on here. I'm sure I can. It's just, hopefully it won't take all morning. Da, 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 da. And she told me about your channel. Rolling with Carlos, brand new, because she's really good at helping brand new channels. My channel, I started this channel mid-June. So I'm going into week 8, week 9. So this is brand new. This is brand new for me too. And my thing is, I'm just trying to do some basic editing. I was trying to figure out how to just put words on a thumbnail. Or even one word on a thumbnail. Have I figured that out yet? No. No, I haven't. Now, do you pay her to be your YouTube coach? Do, 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 do. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. That's awesome. We've been hanging out for 20 minutes. What do you think? I try to keep my lives on the shorter side. I don't expect people to hang out with me all day. They've got they got lots of things they get to do during their day. Again, I'm looking on my iPad here for Aaron. She didn't pop. She's in here. She didn't pop up. Spell check keeps trying to change your name. That doesn't help. Thank you. I like your channel too. Rolling with Carlos. Is that what you thought of? Rolling with Carlos? I've even thought about shortening my channel name to just Pink Impossible, but I like all things Pink Impossible because it's kind of a play on words from a poem that I really like. There she is. I'll have to link it. I'll do my best to link your channel, Carlos, and her channel. Give you a little shout out, and I'll do a little shout out in the community tab too. Yeah, I know what you mean. Medical, anything medical, quote unquote, can get a little tricky too. I put a disclaimer at the very beginning because being, can we use the word handicapped or having mobility I'll just use myself as an example. Having mobility issues, I have to be very careful. I want to be very careful that I'm not giving out medical advice, and I have that in my description on my channel, that this is just my experience. This is the way that I've had to adapt so I can do specific things. But in no way is that any kind of medical advice for someone else. Everybody's experience is different. Cool. Sports is always good. There's so many people that love sports. Yeah, I get torn about I do decent with views. It's subscriptions. I'm sitting at 60 subscribers right now. So, but I don't want to try to push and push for subscribers. I'd rather have it grow organically. I mean, we have a year to get the job done, right? So, yeah, sure, I'd like to be monetized within a year. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, I'll be okay. Have you thought about doing a live? I'd tune in. I'd tune in for a Rolling with Carlos live. Awesome. Yeah, the algorithm. It's like it's literally a roller coaster it's peaks and valleys, that's for sure. And my shorts do better than my long form. And this is only my second live, so I can't say how the live is gonna work in the long run. I haven't niched down quite yet. I've got some people telling me to niche down. Of course, when we're talking about mobility, that's a niche in and of itself that most people don't have. So does your area have a good I mean, if you were to decide to do a live outside of your home, would you be able to just kind of do a rolling with Carlos live uh, while you were out and about? Our interwebs in this area won't really support that. We won't. It's probably going to be a while before I can do um, an on the spot live. Oof, yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't thought about that. You might try remote too. Like I was thinking of doing something remote where I don't I'm just out maybe near a coffee house working on their off of their interwebs and just doing a live from there, just a quick live. I'm probably going to keep them short and sweet. I'm not going to ask people to invest a lot of their time. This time is precious. We don't get it back. You could do subscribers only, maybe. I don't know. But members only is probably is definitely a safer option. T-Mobile. We have Verizon. So, and it's just where we live. It's steady enough, but we get throttled when I live here with my family, my husband and our kids. I say kids in quotation marks. They're probably the same age you are. So uh, when if we're all streaming, they're gaming and using the internet, and our TV streaming. Uh, Pretty sure we're getting throttled at some point, depending on time of day. Yeah, same here. Depends. It really depends. Time of day, where you're at in relation to your internet. So, how's Sergeant Pepper doing? Good. I was wondering if he or she doing good. That's awesome. Give him a scratch on the head from me. All things pink and possible. What do you think, man? I know. He's your best. I know. I remember you said Sergeant Pepper's your best friend. All right, man. Been at this for a half hour. Appreciate you hanging out with me, Carlos. All right, everybody, take care. Be sure to check out Rolling with Carlos and All Things Pink and Possible. God bless you too, and have a great one.